Hi everybody, Nick Miller here with MiniQuadClub.com, and I'm here today to wrap up part 3 of my review of the R220 Pro Mini H Quad from R220 RC. Now, during part 1 of my review, I mentioned that there were really 2 parts to the review. The first being the actual R220 Pro frame itself, and the second being the actual service that R220 RC provides, which is a CNC cutting service, and also provides some e-commerce services if you wish to sell your frame after you're done. I've talked to several people now online, both in the group and out of the group, who've actually used Mike Walters and his services, and they've all been very happy with both the quality of the carbon fiber and materials and the customer service. So that being said, I would definitely recommend you check out R220 RC if you have a need to get some custom CNC work done. Mike Walters seems to be very, very knowledgeable about CNC, and it really shows in both the work that he's done for other people, and it really shows in this the construction of this quad too. So that's, that being said, let's move on to the review of the actual 220 itself. I was able to fly this 220 for about 3 weeks. I actually had some good weather here in Ohio and was able to actually get out and fly with Ben, and so he got to see this thing in action as well. And I have to say that, as you would expect, since it is a Blackout-inspired design and shares the same geometry, it flies very, very well. It flies as good as any other 220 sized quad that I've had the chance to fly. It's been very agile. I was able to get the nays tuned in really good with some settings I had, and really push this thing around quite a bit, as you saw in the video in the beginning of this review. And I really didn't have any complaints. I did have a couple really good crashes. The ones that I did have, unfortunately, were so hard that the Mobius actually shut itself off. So I do have a picture, which I'll show during this review, of the first time I crashed, where all the actual plastic screws had been just annihilated on the frame. And again, that's what's supposed to happen in the design. You can now order the frame with metal hardware or plastic hardware, so whatever suits your fancy. I actually went and upgraded to metal hardware, and I haven't had any problems since. But again, it's not really a problem when it comes apart. That's what it's supposed to do. And anybody who owns a Blackout, has experienced this as well. In severe crashes, you will shear your plastic screws, but you also save all your carbon fiber, and all your materials usually make it through as well. So, that's a good thing. And speaking of options, there were a few things that when I initially started to review the quad that I didn't care for. One of them was the arms. These arms are actually V1 arms, which there's actually been another revision to this, and now a newer revision to these. The newest revision actually is wider at the end to support the 2204 size motors. Originally this was designed for 1806s or maybe 1804s. So it's nice that while I have no issue and running the 2204s on these V2 arms, I believe, or actually these are V1 arms, the newest arms that are out actually support and cover the edges of a 2204 motor. So 2 thumbs up for Mike Walters for being really proactive about putting out a new arm to really support people using the 2204 size motors on a 220 frame. Also, when I did hit the ground hard enough to shear off the plastic screws, there was a really kind of an issue, because I really had to take apart almost the whole quad to get to the screws that were under this belly plate and make adjustments and put these things back together and all the standoffs. And the nice thing is that the new belly plates actually have holes drilled out the bottom of them that you can access the screw heads through, so you never have to worry about taking the bottom assembly apart, to actually do maintenance on the top 2 plates. So 2 thumbs up for a proactive approach to any issues that I did have. My final thoughts on the R220 Pro Mini H Quad are that if you're looking for a frame in the 220mm size that has some inspiration from the Blackout, then you'd be hard put to find a better value than the R220 Pro. Now, I know there's some ZMR frames and other similar frames that have been inspired by the Blackout as well. The problem with those is you really don't know what you're getting, whether you're getting carbon fiber, carbon glass. There's a lot of confusion online as to what you're actually buying, and so it's nice to know that when you're actually shopping around, you can actually trust the quality of the carbon fiber and know you're actually getting real carbon fiber product. The other thing is that in the time this review was made, which was only a few weeks, there had already been 2 revisions to the arms and the belly plates to make them better. And I really want to, if I'm going to invest in a quad platform, I really want to see that there's some advancements being made into making it better. So for me, there's a lot of options, and there's a lot of good options actually in this size. I reviewed the Minion, which is a great quad. I reviewed the B, which is a little bit bigger than this. I reviewed this, which is a 220. Kind of sits in between the 2. All 3 great options, and people like different stylings for different reasons. But I think you owe it to yourself to check it out. So 2 thumbs up. Thanks again for Mike Walters for sending it out for review, and thanks again for all of you for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support, and this is Nick Miller signing off.